I am in Rajasthan to drive the latest member of the Audi stable. It's called the A6 Matrix, and if you're familiar with Audi's technology, you will have guessed that that has something to do with these fancy LED headlamps. But there's so much more to it than just that. We got a sneak preview of it with the RS6 Avant that was launched a little while ago. This, however, is the model that we will be seeing more of on our roads every day. So I think it makes sense for us to take a deeper look under the skin of this one. Despite the new name, the A6 Matrix is no more than a facelift. And as such, it has the typical changes that come with most facelifts. There are redesigned bumpers at the front and at the back, both of which look really aggressive thanks to the standard S-line specification. The same goes for the new alloy wheels, which have gone up one size to 18 inches and really give the car a more planted look. You might also notice the new tail lamps and maybe the new single-piece grille at the front. But what you will definitely notice are the Matrix LED headlamps that give this car its name. The old A6 had full LED headlamps too, but what sets these new Matrix ones apart is that when the high beam is on, they sense oncoming traffic and shut off individual diodes within each lamp so that other motorists aren't blinded. Pretty clever, huh? Step in and you'll notice a few visual differences and added equipment. There's this nice new unveneered wood finish that feels really classy, a more ergonomic design for the gear lever, and you can now choose from a handful of different leather upholstery colors. On the equipment front, you now get the latest version of Audi's superb MMI onboard computer, complete with a touchpad, navigation, and a full color screen between the dials. There's also a 10 GB hard drive to store your media, which is played out through a 600-watt, 14-speaker Bose hi-fi audio system. You can also move the front passenger seat from the back using a set of dedicated buttons. And with the addition of 2 side airbags at the rear, the A6 now gets a total of 8, which Audi says is class-leading. However, there is only one single variant for this new A6. You can't choose to have any more or any less equipment, which does limit your choice. And unfortunately, the same goes for the engine and the gearbox. Interestingly, one of the biggest changes with this facelift is to the powertrain. It's still a 2-litre 4-cylinder diesel engine like before. In fact, that's the only engine option you can get at the moment with the new A6. But power is now up to 187 brake horsepower and torque is a whole 41 kgm. Even more significant than that, however, is the fact that the tired old CVT automatic gearbox has been swapped for an up-to-the-minute 7-speed dual-clutch automatic, which Audi calls S-tronic. First impressions of the new powertrain? Well, interestingly, it doesn't feel quite as punchy as the old one used to. However, look down at your speedometer and you realize you are gathering pace very, very quickly indeed. It's just that you can't feel it so easily because it feels a lot smoother, a lot more linear, and a lot more refined somehow. So the power is there, it's just masked a whole lot better now. The double clutch gearbox is a huge improvement with quick shifts and none of that annoying rubber band effect that is typical of a CVT gearbox. So the powertrain is much improved. But what about the dynamics? The A6, as before, has adaptive air suspension. So what that means is at the flick of the drive select button, you can go from a soft, cushy ride quality, which is great in the city, to a harder, firmer, more aggressive setup, which is good if you're going up a guard road or if you want some extra stability out on the highway. And it works really well. The added advantage of air suspension, of course, is that you can raise the entire car to go over a rough patch of road. What about the handling? Well, in true Audi fashion, the steering is not the most feelsome one around, but it's got a nice weight to it, in dynamic mode at least, and the chassis responds well to your inputs. So while it's not the most exciting car to handle around a set of corners, it is pretty competent. And this is the front-wheel drive version, let me remind you, not a quattro. So the Audi A6 Matrix then, and on the surface, on paper, it doesn't initially seem like the greatest idea. For one, it's only available with a single engine and a single gearbox. It's not available with quattro all-wheel drive, and it's only available in a single trim level. However, dig a bit under the surface and it's clear Audi has done its homework. This is a car that's loaded with all the technology, comfort and luxury that you want, and none of the excessive unnecessary stuff that was simply driven the price up. As a result, at just a shade under Rs 50 lakh, what you get is a handsome, tech-loaded, comfortable, luxurious sedan, and one that is definitely worth your consideration.